Looks like we're live. Welcome back to the Coach's Corner live stream / podcast. We're probably going to be rebranding it just to CMA podcast because there's a lot of Coach's Corners out there that aren't really CMA podcasts. So we're going to just be rebranding this thing. So on today's episode, we are going to talk about getting ready for tryouts because they're coming up. And if you haven't started thinking about what it is, and if you've been laying around all summer, this is the podcast for you to get your player up and running and ready for tryouts for real. And then we're also going to talk about the importance of consistency, and because it's something, a conversation Coach Mo and I have had offline, and we feel like it's something that we need to really sit down and discuss with the fam. So that's what we have on today's episode. I'm going to go ahead and roll this intro and then we'll be back. So, I'm Brian, Coach Mo, all right, and we are co-owners of Coach Mo Athletics. Our signature program is our basketball academy program, and we have been working how long with basketball academy?
It's been a while.
Yeah, about 8 years with basketball academy. And we have a program that is a hybrid of speed and agility and basketball skills training, and we've had some really good successes with it. So really, let's talk about players. You got players playing high school, right? You got players playing middle school. You got players playing college ball, and they all came to our academy program. So when we talk about the training piece, you kind of know what we're talking about with that piece of it, and we have the proof to show it. A lot of our players are wearing jerseys all over the country and all over the city. And so, Coach Mo, tell us a little bit about, the college players that come through here.
Yeah, it's really rewarding when you see the guys come back. Typically got a little break in the summer, and so the guys hit me up, and they want to, go be able to speed with Joey, they want to do some bag work, get some shots in. And, these are kids that were in our program that went through and did our basketball academy. One might did one-on-ones, might did speed and agility, continue our program. So it's always good to see them come back and talk about how to utilize this stuff while they're playing at school or fighting for a position to get, be a starter, a six-man, or whatever, but they come back and keep us, inform them how they're doing.
All right, cool. So, like I said, we got players all over the city. That's something that I feel like we don't brand on it enough, right? But it is what we do, and so that's where Coach Mo and our coaches are really good at, is getting results from kids that show up consistently. And so that's going into our second topic, and we're going to talk about the power of consistency, and it goes into how we structure our programming, because everything is about the consistency piece. But we have multiple programs running. The basketball academy program, which is a monthly commitment. We have a basketball academy plus teams, which takes our training model and adds a team component to it. And so our biggest thing is, you train with us and you play with us. And that's kind of how we envision it. And then for the summer, ending out summer, we are rolling into fall. And this is time. And so we wanted to discuss a little bit about prepping for tryouts. Before I get too far in, I want to put my call to action in here. Hey, if you're listening right now, go to coachmoathletics.com, scroll down to our page, and get on our mailing list. You'll see notifications about podcast episodes, but I have some specials I'm going to roll out to the fam, and I only want to share them with people that are on our mailing list. So, and it's pretty big stuff for stuff that we're doing. So, if you have an opportunity, go to it and jump on and click on the mailing list. It's at the bottom of the main page. And if you need more, shoot me a message, and I will send you an email with a link to that mailing list. So that's what I want to do. It's on our main homepage, so and it's a great way to stay in contact with us. So let's just cut to the chase here. tryouts are coming up, right? And parents, just keep it real. If you know that you're looking at your kid and you want to try for basketball, we're talking about like middle school tryouts, high school tryouts, so we're keeping it real. Now, they've kind of laid around on summer. They haven't really been playing any other sports. You haven't really seen them really go out hoop. They haven't really got any shots up, or it's been really kind of not a real effort. I got to be honest with you. If they didn't make the team last year, and they didn't get out and kill it this summer, use this year to start to lock in, they're coming in behind.
Right. Comeback stories and too, but the comeback stories are kids that didn't take that time off. Right. So it's a miracle story that took 6 months off.
And we do want to dispel something we've heard, because we've heard parents say, well, they're going to team tryouts or team workouts, right? They're going to team workouts, and the coach is going to see them, and the coach is going to, by seeing them, the coach is going to hold them in higher regard, and just because of that, that's going to secure their spot on the team. It doesn't work like that.
It's what you're supposed to do. Like if you are it's what you're supposed to do. If you are moving into your school and do that as a high school coach, yes, we want to see you at high school. But school workouts and high school. So what do you do with your other 2 days?
Right. And how many kids would show up to these workouts?
3?
Huh?
3, 4, maybe. Maybe. Sell spots for teams, like you're gonna have a ton of kids there, so stuff.
Right. And so just showing up and getting FaceTime with the coach, a lot of times isn't going to do the things that you think it's going to do. Because, the coach knows your kid. The coach may like your kid. Coach may say the kid's a great kid. But at the end of the day, and we just talked to some of our 8th graders about it the other night, at the end of the day, that coach's job, if we're playing a high school ball, we're talking about 8th graders going in 9th grade, at the end of the day, the coach needs to be able to put the best team out there as possible.
Floor and perform. That's it. Bottom line, can you help the team win games? And if you didn't practice or play, you probably can't help the team win games. At the end of the day, the coach wants to keep their job.
Right. And so, yes, the coach is there to be a leader of young men or young women. So we're not discounting that. Here's the other side. That coach is also in that spot to win.
Yeah, you gotta be there.
And so if they're not winning, the seat starts heating up a little bit. And so they're going to go, they may love your kid, they may think the world of your kid. That does not necessarily guarantee them anything. And so the idea is coming into tryouts ready to rock and roll. And we have a service, we're going to get into it and talk about it, but we're going to talk about some of the underlying things that inspire the service. And so we're going to talk about what do you need to do to prep for tryouts. And whether you train with us or whether you don't, let's talk about some things that people need to do to start getting ready for tryouts. And realistically, the first thing we need to discuss, especially with our kids, and have this conversation, is getting their heads right. Just for our kids, for our 9th, 8th graders, and I'm kind of calling them out, we have a conversation. It's not a ton of locking in. It's playtime when they walk in the door.
Because what we're realizing is you might have been the guy or the girl in junior high. Right. Because it is. What I'm realizing is there are going to be a lot of people that think the same way and probably a little bit more talented but are locked in.
Right.
So now all of a sudden you don't even know what and playing are coming in, and now there's 8 guys that are and they're more disciplined.
Right.
So now it becomes real.
Right.
The joking and giggling, waiting for that. The person who's behind you is waiting for you to be the comedian so you take your spot.
Right. And we talked about, the talent and other skills. They may need you to be a better defender and get to spots faster and know where you're supposed to be and be a better rebounder and a better passer. Those are things that you need to be working on more than just shooting the ball.
Right.
And more than just playing one-on-one games, because a lot of times playing in the context of team, they already have that guy or girl that is a guaranteed bucket, and so they're looking to build a cast around that star player, and do a lot of the dirty work. And a lot of times kids have this focus where they're focusing on being just the star, and they're not focusing on the other things that a coach is going to be looking for to fill out for a team.
But it takes time. I'm always thinking with people in here that, well, AU this, AU that. Well, I said with coaches, there's a lot of coaches that AU, so apparently colleges like the kids are playing, and so like despite all the rumors, all the, so like I saw plenty of coaches all summer still around, and the same thing that they would say was they watch for the little stuff. Like if you're playing a top 17U program anywhere, I'm pretty sure all the starting five can score the basketball. But for my college, I need you to defend, and I already got small American scores that I can score. Well, everybody can defend 94 feet. Okay, cool, but I don't do that. They're looking for that. And you're not ready for this, we're talking kids, if you're not ready for that adjustment, this is what we're talking about. You gotta take it serious, because somebody's gonna hit you in their question, and you're not gonna know what to say and do.
Right. And I think that's one of the things that is kind of a rude awakening, and it's just a general, because you're not going to know what the coach needs until the coach kind of tells you what you need. And so you have to show that you have a stronger motive to go get the rebound and make a good pass and play solid defense. And so you're going to have to be able to show that you can do all of those things at the same time, as opposed to thinking that you're going to come out and just light it up, because there you have it. A lot of times. And if they're looking at you as the person that's going to be the primary lighted up person, they've already contacted you. You know, and they know. You're not going to come in and shock the world with that. And so these are the things. So with our tryout prep training, the way we're structuring it is, we're calling it a boot camp. Because there's a mentality piece that we're trying to instill, the seriousness that we're trying to instill, come in, handle the business ethic that we're trying to instill, plus it's working on the conditioning. It's going to be working on the fundamental skills, the boring stuff. I come on here multiple times a month and talk about mastering the boring stuff. But these are the things that we're going to be drilling in on tryout prep training. And this one's going to be for the boys. You're going to have a girls tryout prep training. And the girls could jump in on this one.
The girls, typically their tryouts in middle school are in like December, it's a little bit like that. The girls can, but this is more for the boys because they're coming up in November.
Right. But the girls can actually come in and get the work and then continue on their academy program, and then when it's time for their tryouts, we'll have another tryout prep to get them ready to. Right. But the idea is we're focusing on the skills. We're focusing on the mindset. We're focusing on the footwork. Focusing on the conditioning. And it's almost 4 days. We're mixing it and blending it with our regular offering, with our academy services. And so if you aren't in services with us, tryout prep training is a way to experience some of our academy work for 6 weeks. Right. So you're getting 6 weeks of 2 sessions with tryout prep, which are going to be Tuesdays and Saturdays. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, you're getting Basketball Academy. And that's where the basketball skill piece is. And so we're blending a couple of programs, but it's really unique for people that haven't really experienced what we do, because we believe in what we do. Right. And we know that it creates outcomes. And so With that basketball camp, where you always said you don't have to play with us to attend basketball camp. You just so that you can dominate the kids on your team, on whatever team you're with, and you can almost have it as your secret weapon.
So like we get people all the time, and that's just like I play for someone, they're like, that's great. And do some interest, just some interest, and it's like I get trainers from out of the state. Oh, 170 from my side. No, I my kid end up over there. My kid, I'm like, it's just like it's just a kid. It's a kid that wants to learn basketball. And no one's I'm open to anybody. And most times, once I find out, I'll tell the coach like, hey, you got a couple of your kids that are coming over here, and some of the trainers love that. Love trying to let have that. But we want kids.
Hold on a second. So Robinson is saying we're having audio issues again. So I'm gonna make a quick adjustment here and let us know if it changes things up. Because we definitely don't want audio issues.
Right.
Let's see. It's still bad. Let me make a couple of tweaks here. Sorry, this is live TV. Did that change a couple of settings? Did that change anything, Robin?
Yes.
Or is it still garbled? Oh, it got worse. Wow. Alright, hold on one second. Did that help at all? Well, I can see what the issue is. Okay, did that do anything? I'm thinking it might be a software issue. Alright. So alright, well what I'm gonna do here is did that help at all? Back to how it originally was, not good. Okay. I can call it. So, give me a second and let me go to work and figure out what the issue is with our audio. And then we'll come back to it because it's good information and we really do want to share it. Oh, no, it's not your fault.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's not your fault at all.
100% is your fault.
Because we want to make sure that we are presenting. And so, changing one last thing. Did that help? Because I turned off a setting. Now you're blurry. I think we're having some internet issues, to be honest with you.
Right, yeah, and with the storms too, man. I had something the other day in here.
So I think we're dealing with internet issues as well, and that's kind of creating a problem for us too. Clear now. All right. So the audio sounds good. Oh, now it's perfect.
Sounds good.
So audio's perfect. That's crazy.
No, okay.
Yes. Okay. So audio sounds.
I'll take credit for that. But the mess up was you, Robin.
Yeah. No, Robin, good went out. I think I probably need to put in an email to support for our our streaming platform because this is one of those things that's been kind of a bugaboo for us in terms of what we're trying to do. So we're gonna run all the way back and I guess start from the jump.
Or we could do a quick summary. How about that?
Yeah, we'll do a quick we'll do a quick summary. So the first thing is I basically said get on our mailing list.
Yes.
And if you need the mailing list, shoot us an email or hit us up on Facebook because I have a whole lot of exclusive deals that are huge discounts for our services
Right.
in the mailing list.
And we basically talking about tryouts are coming up all over. Boys typically going to be first with middle school, of course. And then high school will be anybody that's coming up. So we're talking about how to prep and get ready for those tryouts. And we just started talking about what our tryout prep is going to do. Basically saying, if you've been sitting around and you're not ready, there's somebody that's ready to go. And we're talking about what our tryout prep does and how we offer the 4 days a week and what it does.
Okay. And realistically, we talked about the different components of what it takes. So we're talking about attacking the mindset, attacking the physical, doing all the conditioning work, footwork, speed and agility, and basketball skills. And more or less we're going to mix a couple of services. And so if you sign up for tryout prep training, you can attend our basketball academy for that 6 weeks if you're not already in services with us, so that you can get the basketball work into. And basically saying, from a general standpoint, you have to play with us to attend basketball academy.
No, and that's what I was there right before we realized it was, we want everybody to be there. And I tell you, get a trainer once every trainer or coach. How did my kid get over there? And like, I didn't know, is it your kid, your actual kid? Like,
Right.
What was a kid that played for me? And I guess I'm a veteran. I don't get caught up into mine. We get caught up into helping every kid that wants to be helped. And
Right.
so if I know it's a kid, typically I call the coach or I'll let, like, hey, your kid's just doing our training. And a lot of times I don't, because that's kind of up to the kid and the parents.
Right.
We just, it's almost kind of strange. It's almost a strange question when you ask that. From another thing, I'm like, we're not coaching your kid. We're just trying to get them. Their tryouts coming up. Do you want to help them or not too?
Right.
This is a way to help them. I do one-on-ones with kids from Glenwood, Iowa, from kids to Omaha to Bellevue to Millard, and I'm not their school coach, but they want to get better at something. So that's what.
And it does go back to the fact that we have to come out and say, we ain't trying to steal your kids. There's a lot of programs that will.
Right.
And you know who you are. You know who you are. There are people that are focused on that. Their entire model is, I want to go out and poach all the best talent and load them up on a team and go out and dominate people.
But
Hey,
we're not losing any sleep
do you?
over that.
If that's how you want to proceed, that's fine. We are not built on that. Here's the other side to that coin. If a kid comes and trains with us and they see how our teams are structured and how kind of tight knit our teams are and how the families are kind of tight knit,
Right.
and they like the coaching and stuff like that, they may inquire about playing for one of our teams. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to send them a link and say, here it is. You train with us, you play with us.
Yep.
And that's how it goes. It's no secret. It's no secret phone calls behind the coach's back, calling mom, calling dad, gassing them up, telling them how wonderful and great their kid is, and all this other stuff. It's not that. It's your kid likes our program and wants to train with us, and we love having them. And so we will say, you can play with us, and that's it. We don't go around behind people's back and try to snake.
Bro, our athletes speak for themselves, and that's why I laugh. I laugh when somebody gives me a sob story and why, man, I really want to go here. I'm like, okay, I laugh. And if you didn't hear the first part, we have kids playing varsity level. We have kids playing Division I basketball. We have kids playing Division II, NAIA, D3, and they come back. We talk about our athletes. If we weren't good at what we do, then why are the kids coming back in the summer to work with us? Why do the kids contact us during the year to ask questions? These are our kids that sat in here and did this. And so that's why we don't lose sleep when a kid goes, well, if it's a better fit for you, sweet, that's great. That's great. Don't be sneaky.
You can always come back and train with us.
Yeah, don't be sneaky. What are we doing, man? Look, the world's too small, life's too short. Just do all that. Just a good fit. But when we talk about training, we are standing here and we're going to train and meet and help you meet and exceed your kids' goals in training.
Right. And for your new coaches out there that are trying to get established and whatnot, if you're doing it part-time or whatnot, we actually have a business model that underpins what we do. And so we adhere to our business model. Do what you need to do to get out there. But a piece of advice, don't get the reputation of somebody that can't be trusted in the coaching community.
Right.
Because, it's all ha-ha fun and games until you actually actively poach a kid and then you fail them.
Yeah. And we get those stories all the time.
We get those stories all the time where you don't deliver on the promises that you're making this kid or their parents. And now they're looking at you sideways and they done wasted 2 or 3 years.
That's what I heard. And when I take shots at somebody, like I'm like that shot from DC. I'm gonna go right at you, so I don't take shots. But the best one, this is a shot at this person, is when they said, all you do is when you come to games, you try to get one of our kids to me.
Yeah.
And you know me. Can you tell me what team do I coach in CMA? I don't coach a team in CMA.
Right.
We run it. We're going to support teams and support kids.
And help our coaches out.
So when I heard that, it was very laughable.
Yeah.
It was very laughable because if I'm there, if you read my shirt, and shirt says Basketball Academy. We're trying to get kids into like our academies and training with that play for anybody. I'm not there to do that. I can care less. And one thing about me, I'm public. You can find me anywhere at a game. My building's here. We don't run from anything. We're here to help kids.
And that does go into something because it does cut deeper. Because the idea is, it puts that specific comment is offensive just because that's not what we do. If we're offering a better opportunity, the kids come to us and they train with us and they like our model and their parents like the model, they're going to join up what we're doing. We're not going out and recruiting. We don't make promises and we don't say you're going to be the starter. And it's caused friction with parents that we've had in the past where they thought that, well, this kid is going to be a starter and we're trying to ransom that. And, it's like, no, get in where you fit in. If your kid doesn't show up to the academy or they put forth a piss poor effort, they're going to be rostered accordingly.
Right.
And that's just how it runs. And so it's kind of offensive when somebody says, oh, well, you guys are recruiting. We're not recruiting anybody. We tell kids, if you want to get better, come to our academy. So if we're recruiting them to our training program.
And how about this? So this is for all my coaches. Like, I know all y'all. Yeah, we typically pretty cool. Like, well, I have coaches that ask me about kids all the time. I don't know how many kids. Oh man, you got a guard for this weekend? Yeah, man, I got you. But dude, it's crazy that I can do that, but if I ask back, so I get nothing, no response. So I don't do it a lot. So we definitely don't do it a lot. But there is a thing that is called maturity in the coaching game. And as we talk about our program, we talk about what we're trying to do for these kids and prep them. Right? It's making a phone call and being an adult. Making a phone call, being an adult. If you're another coach or a trainer and you have questions, be an adult. Don't, hey, I heard you did. I heard you like, no, don't go at a kid. Don't go at a parent. Come talk to us.
Talk to the coach.
Talk to the coach. And talk to the coach about it. Or to me, because I'm very open book. Like right here, we're sitting here doing a live podcast. Now you can come down and hang out. Yeah. You can come down and hang out. We got electricity. You can plug your phone and talk about it. Talk about it.
Well, we talk about, it is a dirty game. And youth sports is morphing into a pretty dirty and competitive game. We're not here to play the team game where we just go and gobble up, roster up a bunch of kids and we don't really have a team for them and it's disorganized. Like, we're not playing that game. We want you to train with us and then we put a team together based on the kids that train together. And that's a different model. Yeah. And that's what we got to establish. Speaking of which, I'd be remiss if I didn't put it out there. We are offering specifically for mailing list clients. And I don't know if some of y'all saw that Christmas in July thing I posted a couple weeks ago. We're offering a pretty substantial discount on our season pass. And the season pass is everything that we do and everything that we will do for 12 months. And we do a lot. We do large group training, small group training, private training. We do 3-on-3 leagues. We have teams that kids can play for.
Camps. We have camps. We have scrimmages.
Scrimmages. Everything that we do, access to the whole thing for 12 months. And I think that's going to be $1,500. Now, you ain't going to beat that anywhere. And because you're not going to beat that anywhere, it's a super limited offer. And so if you want it, you can go get it. I will post the link and you can jump all over it. But it's basically everything that we do. And it's a great gift for somebody that's serious about developing as a player, a parent that wants to see their kid jump to those next levels. This is kind of the service to do it.
Right.
Back to the tryout prep thing.
Yes.
With tryout prep, it's going to be super intense. And so if you're, the kids are signing up and the parents that sign up, thank you very much. You need to understand this. We ain't playing with this.
No.
If you come to tryout prep training and you aren't ready to put in the work and you're goofy and coach has to talk to you, we're going to run it just like a regular tryout. I'll sit you down. And if you get sit down, that means you got sent home from your tryout.
We've been doing this I went back and looked at Facebook. This is about the 5th year.
Yeah.
This is about the 5th year of the tryout prep. And our numbers are stunning when we say hard numbers of kids that actually started and finished and did the tryout preps. They all made a team.
Right.
They all made their team. So they all made a freshman, a JV, a varsity team. You do it like any other program or any other service. Like, so you can't, but there's that one that didn't ask us about that one or two because they probably did 1 week.
Yeah.
Or they probably did 2 weeks. They probably went on vacation about 4. They probably didn't take it serious. There's something about the 1 or 2 that didn't. It's not they worked hard all the way through, because if you go through this program, you're going to get better. You're going to get better. You're going to be well prepared for a tryout. Now, we can't guarantee that they don't have the starting point guard for the next 4 years at your school.
Right.
And that somebody's going to transfer in and they're sitting at the airport and a 6'9" kid just randomly shows up at a school. We got schools like that just randomly take those kids. I mean, they're not name dropping, but I mean, like, you're in school. We can't guarantee that kid's not coming to your spot. But
Right.
if you're going for a freshman level and you want to know, what gets you there, this is going to get you there. We're going to have a lot of cardio, a lot of basketball homework, a lot of IQ stuff, how to read defenses,
Right.
how to communicate. How do I finish a game in the fourth quarter if I'm tired? What do I do down at? How do I get through it? I watch it in AAU, and you get people like, man, that team lost on a buzzer beater. That team lost by 1 or 2. It was so close. It was so close. Some of those games never had to go down to that.
Right.
It never had to go down to that if I made my 8 wide open layups. All the basics. Ryan's talking about it, the basics. Yeah, we're going to work a lot on the basics. We're going to do, you may have a day where you're doing an hour of layups.
Right.
And everybody's like, oh, man, that's boring. That's boring. I have seen state championships. I've seen NBA championships. Do you guys remember when the Thunder, when Harden missed that layup? And Harden's an NBA player, not Harden.
Right.
Professional players will blow a layup because of fatigue, fatigue, or maybe in practice it's not important to them anymore. Maybe that layup's not important anymore. They're a little bit different. Not saying they're not a great player, but we review all that stuff. A 7th grader that is a point guard has to learn how to defend 94 feet, and we're going to talk about that. A 7th grader that's 5'1" has to be able to shoot the basketball when they're open. We're going to talk about all that in this.
Yeah, and let's talk about that now.
Yeah.
Because there is something to be said. It does relate to tryout prep. So for tryout prep, for our small guards, this is the stuff that you need to know. This is the information that you need to know. Because the reality is, you have a deck stacked against you if you're going into middle school, and if you're going into high school, you have to go out there and be absolutely tenacious and dominant, because your size will be a deterrent against it. And so you have to come in with the mentality. And so let's talk about, what do small guards need to know?
Small guards have to defend. Small guards have to defend. You got to defend 94 feet. Everybody know what 94 feet is? I'm going to tell you. That means when that ball comes in bounds, you are on there and you are a pest. You are making that person turn. You're working that point guard or the two guard. You're making them speed up, slow down. You're in their head. You are a pest. You are in their way. They're bumping into you. They cannot get rid of you. You're fighting over screens. You are at when a recruiter comes or even a casual fan, that kid's the best defender on the team.
Right.
That is the best defender on the team. I'll name drop. Prime example. Ollie Williams, Bellevue East. All right upstairs, 94 feet. Trey Tolbert, Bellevue East. One of the best on-ball defenders. John Sims, Westview. One of the best on defenders. Trey Griggs, one of the best on-ball defenders. All those cats are under 6 feet. But they will give you fits. They will give you nightmares. Props to all those kids. They'll give you nightmares. They understand that assignment.
Right.
So if those names are familiar, those are 4 kids that have been varsity starters for more than 2-3 years on their team.
Yeah.
Some of them have been 4 years on their team. And you know what they see on the floor? They pick up 94 feet. So first and foremost, you got to play defense. Second of all, you got to be a good passer.
Right.
You cannot be a turnover king and if you're under 6 feet. We're going to teach you that. We're going to teach you how to handle pressure. It's going to be a lot of that. What are we doing today? Handling pressure. Why do I need to handle pressure? No college wants somebody that turns the ball over 9 times.
Right.
Because you turn the ball over 9 times a game and they score with that 18 points. That's 18-point swing. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So you got to be able to protect the ball. Be able to hit the ball. Number 3, you got to shoot a wide open shot. You can't pull the ball down and be hesitant to shoot a ball. And if you're going to clear a shot, you're under 6 feet. Shoot it.
Right.
You got to shoot the ball. You can't. I'm scared. What do you mean? Sit down. Because now you're not a threat. Because now we're playing 4-on-5.
Right.
You're not a threat. You're just dribbling in a circle. Good you can pass. I'm going to figure out how to stop you now. Because you won't shoot the ball. And I can sink off of you and play a zone. I can play a zone. Either. Also, you got to be able to do other stuff besides just shoot a 3. Can you drive a kick? Can you hit a floater? Can you communicate on the court? When you come off the bench, or when you come up, is your body language ready? We talk about it all the time. Is your body language ready? Are you a positive leader on the floor and on the sideline? Are you mad because you kick somebody, drop the ball, you come to the sideline? Hey, man, you're terrible, bro. Where everybody sees that.
And so for those that are just tuning in, what we're talking about is Coach Mo's giving tips. This is about our tryout prep training, but this is what small guards need to show at tryouts.
Right.
Because that's probably a lot of our kids want to be guards, and that growth spurt hasn't kicked in quite yet.
Right.
And so they're coming in as a smaller guard. And so this is a huge population of the kids we're working with. And this is knowledge for y'all. This is knowledge for the parents. These are the things that coaches are looking for from smaller guards.
Yeah,
Please continue.
Yeah, the common sense for me is I knew as a smaller guard, I looked at my parents.
Right.
My parents are nowhere near 6 feet. So like the common sense had to jump in for me. It's like, every kid that plays basketball, I think our era was it wasn't like super different. Everybody has their heroes, from when we grew up. Everybody wanted to pass like Magic. Everybody wanted to do everything else like Jordan. You want to shoot a 3 like Larry Bird. That was our era, the 80s, 70s.
Yeah.
Then we kind of rolled into the 90s, and everybody wanted to dunk like Kobe and Vince Carter too. But then your mind, once you got real with yourself, you're like, I'm not 6'8".
Right.
I'm not 6'8", 6'9". But what I can do is do the things I can control. I'm under 6 feet. I can control the basketball. I can dribble every day enough to control the basketball.
So if you come in as a small guard, what is the first thing the coach needs to see from you?
Defense.
Defense.
You got to be able to pick up defense, and without him or her telling you to play defense, it's got to be as soon as that blow, you are up causing havoc. You cannot sit back in the zone being 5'1". 5'1". They're gonna throw the ball over your head. It's just genetically, you just can't. I don't care how much you can jump. You look at who's the smallest person in the league. Was it Muggsy Bogues? Yeah, like 5'5" or something like that too. There's no way that guy could have stayed in the league at 5'5" when there's giants in the league. He had to be a pest. Yeah. He had to be a pest on defense. And then also, you got to be strong. You got to be strong. No one's asking you to go bench press 315 or something like that. That'd be sweet, right?
Yeah.
It's sweet. But you got to be strong. You got to love the weight room.
Right.
You got to love the weight room. You got to be a pest on defense. You got to be a vocal and a nonverbal leader. So a vocal leader is, I'm out on the floor. Hey, get out of the paint. roll back in, set a screen for number 12. Okay, pull back out. Hey, come get this ball. Hey, let's pull back out. Hey, you have a shorter defender. You get in the post. I'm gonna hit you. What hand do you want it on? Bam. That's vocal. Okay, nonverbal. You're telling them. You're by there. You're clapping. You're directing traffic. You're clapping. Every time they do something, good job. They mess up. Hey, don't worry, we'll get it back. We'll do the layup. We'll get it back because you're gonna get another opportunity. One thing I used to always say on the bench, I tell them, hey, and that's as a coach and a player. Hey, you're gonna end up winning this game. I don't know if that's a fact. I don't know if it's a fact, but if that person blew that layup, and the first thing I tell them as a guard or my leader of the team is, that was terrible. You cost us. That's their lasting memory. Like, I did? Well, there's 15 minutes ago in the game. That play didn't cost us.
Right.
So just give them that positive. Hey, man, we're going to get it back.
So a smaller guard needs to be a defender.
Has to be a defender.
What else?
Has to be the communication. They have to be the communication. Got to hit open shots. Got to hit open shots. You got to shoot the ball, man. Listen, you are, and I get on a lot of guards. They're like, hey, I know you're a distributor. I know you're trying to be nice. You gotta shoot the ball and attack the rim. It's okay. You don't have to. You can't attack a 7-footer every time, but there's ways to attack that 7-footer. Find out different ways to score. Prime example: Kyrie's probably. I think they list him at 6'3". We all know that you get that 2 inches they give you. It's probably 6'1". It's probably 6'1", right? 6'1". That guy, if you look at his percentage at the rim, is higher than most centers because he does different things at the rim. He knows how to finish at the rim. Curry's another one. Everybody, he just shoots threes. No, watch full games. Stop looking at highlights. If you watch him, those guys finish high off the glass. They know how to do floaters. You know, they're up and unders. They know how to do that stuff. They know how to take layups, catch you off guard, change speed. Guards do that stuff. Now, mind you, these guys are only 6'1", 6'3", so they're still considered a small guard.
Right.
So if you are shorter than that, you have to almost be, you got to be great at those things. And that's kind of the sad thing about basketball, but it's also the true thing about basketball too. I heard a coach, and Coach Barnes, I see him on Instagram, shout out to him, I'll tag him, in this. But he talked about that. He's like, you got to be the best. As a guard, you got to be the best all-around player on the court.
Okay. That's what we're getting.
The best all-around player on the court. Not the best shooter, passer, dribble all the time, but you got to be the best all-around player.
Okay. So for small guards, we talked about small guards. How about any other positions, any other tips for specific positions or specific roles that you want to talk to?
In general, every kid, and you can get on here and get mad all you want, every kid has to learn how to dribble the basketball and handle it enough to get themselves out of trouble or get to the rim. I always believe in 3 dribbles, you can do something. You can do something. You're going to dribble and shoot, dribble and go, dribble and pass. So if you can get 3 good, strong dribbles and get rid of the ball, make a good pass, and cut and follow it, cool. 1, 2, 3, pull up. 1, 2, 3, drive floater. 1, 2, 3, pull a layup. You're effective as a point guard, 2 guard, small forward, power forward, and a center. And centers, the game has changed. You don't get. I watch AAU high level all summer. I don't remember seeing a shit.
Right.
So the game changed. Like that was pure dominance. This guy was well over 300 pounds, just pure dominance.
And he can still dribble.
He can still dribble. You don't even see that. So young kids that are 100 pounds less than what he was, and they're tall, and they're taking 1 dribble and getting rid of it. No, you still got to be able to dribble. And that's why you see kids, that kid doesn't have an offer, and he's so tall and big, he can't do the basics. So, colleges can work with some kids, but if they don't have time, we know now this changed. We can do that another day. They don't have time to develop your dribbling when they can go get a transfer kid, got the portal. Mm-hmm. They can go get a kid that's coming in from another school, they're a walker, and they don't have time to teach you how to dribble.
Well, let's expand that, because and you stop me if I'm wrong here, but I was starting to see a trend with that in high school too.
Right.
They ain't gonna waste time to develop you. They'll just have another kid. There'll be other kids that can transfer in that
right.
can take over the stuff that you can't do.
Right. I love coaches that keep it real. Oh, this thing fly. Like, keep it real in high school. There's two good coaches around here that they talk about it. Like, that I know personally. And I talk to them, and you get the kids like, man, that guy was mean. I don't know, particularly that coach wasn't mean. I actually wish I had a coach like that.
Right.
I wish I had a coach like that kept it real. Hey Mo, you not showing up with the team and doing something like that, you look selfish. What do you mean? I be working out and doing stuff and playing 2K. You're like, well, your last thing is that you're chilling, and I think coaches want you to be a kid.
Right.
They want you to be a kid, but they also don't know what else you're doing because your production when you get back with the team doesn't looks like it. If you didn't play AAU at all this summer, going into your senior year as a 17U, I'm not the AAU police, not your high school coach. I would have an issue being your high school coach because I don't know what you did for 3 months. At least when I know AAU, I could. It's new, right? I can see your stream games. I can see you local. I can have a conversation with you how your stats went, and I can talk to your AAU coach. So as a high school coach, assistant, or varsity coach, what I do, like, hey, what did you do? Hey, man, he showed up. He played for, Nebraska Hoops Elite, played for, Omaha Elite, played for Factory, played for and, and what was his numbers?
Right.
What was his numbers? Kind of struggled with assists because our big man was out, but really good at finishing at the rim, probably averaged, 16 points, blah, 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 blah. I can now know I have a kid to work with. But we're talking about this tryout prep is going to be for these kids that there's two ones that want to continue and level up, and then the ones who say, oh, I better wake up.
Right.
So there's two kind of kids we're dealing with. I need to wake up and get in here and do this.
Right. And so that's we created this program, this prep program, for y'all, to benefit y'all, so that y'all can come in, have your mindset locked in, and be in mid-season shape, where you're not playing yourself into shape and into condition. Your footwork is solid, the skill work is there, all the foundations to have the most successful tryout possible.
Right.
And if it doesn't work, we're going to be coming up. We want to do a team that is for kids that didn't quite make it. Maybe it wasn't a skill thing. Maybe there just wasn't enough spots, because that happens pretty frequently.
Here's a sad reality. Even sad. We talked about it. This may be some of the last few months of playing competitive basketball.
Right.
And mom and dad, you got to understand that. And grandma, you got to understand that, like, that kid is continuing to play on the bronze level of sports until he's in 9th grade. They never got to experience the speed of the game change. I had to get on, point guard with pace. You got to, pace, change the pace. You'll never figure that out playing on the lowest level, waiting for a medal.
Or playing at the Y.
Yep, you'll never figure that out. That's if you want to continue to play high school basketball. Like, if you don't want to play high school basketball and play intramurals, sweet. I wish more schools would have intramurals.
Right.
I wish they would have, though. I think it keeps kids busy, gets good exercise, keeps kids off the street. I wish they would. But unfortunately, during the season, there's no time to give you gym space, and we know that's up there. So you have to, if you're going out now, you got to be ready for an actual high school tryout.
Right.
Or middle school, an actual middle school tryout where they are going to pick 10 kids. And if there's 75 that show up, guarantee you those 75 probably aren't weak.
Right.
They're probably kids that have been playing silver, or gold, or platinum, or AAU, or travel. About 15 of those kids have done that. Now you got to outwork the 15 kids.
And some of them kids are already on the roster. You just don't know it yet.
Oh, yeah. If I see you doing a 360 dunk and he's 6'5", I'm going to go out on a limb. He's probably going to make your junior high team. Like, unless there's some grades issues or some behavior issues.
And so we're trying to put you on your best foot when you come into tryout, so you can hit the ground running. And that's what the service is prep training, tryout prep boot camp.
Yep.
We've been calling tryout training, but this is really a boot camp.
Yep.
And so we ain't here to play with you. And coach is not going to play with you. So come in ready, locked in. We talked about it. I talked about it with the 8th graders.
Yep.
And some of them didn't believe me. I said, you guys are entering your last couple of years playing basketball. They didn't want to believe it.
Yep.
Some of them are entering their last year playing basketball. After 9th grade, it's going to be done. And if they don't go to a different school, or if they don't get more their basic skills up, this is as far as it's going to go for them. And we don't want to see that happen to anybody. So we're trying to give them all the skills they need to succeed at higher levels. But some folks just don't want to listen.
Nope.
And so this is why we keep drilling at home with them. Like, fight against it and don't do everything you can to make sure that you can play. If you want to play basketball for longer than 9th grade, you're going to add some stuff to your bag. And so, and consistency is key. And that's going to be the next thing we're going to talk about. We're going to take a brief pause for the cause and we will be right back. Hold on one second. See, I said take a pause for the cause and I didn't have my intro, my break spot queued up. So now I'm about to hit it. All right, we're back. So we talked about tryout prep, and Coach gave a lot of really good information. And so if you're watching this live, if you can jump back, because he talked about what generally all players need to show to be dominant in tryouts, but specifically tips for smaller guards. And the reason why we single smaller guards out is because that's who we see a lot of. Every kid wants to play guard.
Right.
And we're telling you these are the things you have to do. And so Coach spent a lot of time talking about it. You want to go back and look at that. We're probably going to clip those pieces up specifically. So the thing we talked about heading into the break was consistency. And it's been our biggest theme here. Our academy program is built on the concept of if you consistently come in and work to get better, you're going to get better.
Yeah, it's simple. It's show up and show out. I say that.
It's a simple premise. I don't understand. And it comes from a weightlifting kind of philosophy.
Right.
You consistently show up in the weight room, you will see results eventually.
Right.
And depending on what you put in, you may see those results a little bit faster. Some of them are longer, some of them take shorter, but it's about the consistency piece of it. The problem that we're seeing, and this is why we needed to have this conversation, is, and this is kind of a shot, I hate to say a shot, but this is kind of a check for parents too.
Right.
Our model's built on consistency. Show up, put in the work, you get better. If you don't show up with any regularity or consistency, you won't get better. You can't expect to get better.
Well, I don't even think it's a shot. I think you're keeping it real. Like they work every day.
Right.
So the parents work every day and they work and they do stuff like every single day. If you didn't show up to your job, the first, you had that 10-day when you first started a job, right. You do training and you learn how to work the computer. And if you don't do that the first 2 weeks or 10 days, they tell you, you're lost.
Right. And you got to get the reps in. And so what we're saying is this, and we're not just talking about consistently showing up. I'm talking about consistently showing up, putting in the right kind of effort. Not consistently showing up, but half-assing it on drills and cheating on drills. And, well, I'm too good to do this drill, so I'm going to just sit down and tie my shoe. Or parents thinking that this kid is too advanced for these specific drills. We've seen it all. And so what we're looking at is we're looking at the kids that show up, put in the work every single week, and do it without complaining or griping or cheating the drill or anything. That's what we're looking at. I'll expand the point a little bit. So if you have a kid and you're trying to teach them algebra, is it easier to learn algebra from one teacher or 5 teachers? All with different teaching styles, all starting from different points. What's easier?
You say I'd say one. It's always one because you will always go back to that. I think that confused me even in school myself, like learning from a million different
learning a skill that you don't know or that you're not familiar with from multiple people at the same time will absolutely slow your ability to learn that skill.
right.
It's something I've learned in marketing. It's something I've learned in making videos. It's something I've learned in managing businesses. Yeah, it's great to have as many mentors as possible, but you only can apply one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you try to do everything at the same time, you're going to screw up your outcomes. So you need to try something, see if it works or it doesn't work, and then make your adjustments and then try again. What we're seeing is, and the temptation is great because we talked about it earlier with coaches poaching kids.
Right.
You have a kid in a program, they're doing really well in that program. And then some other program comes up and says, your kid's really good. Yeah, thank you. You want to come out and play with us? Sure. And so now you're taking your kid that had a lot of success in one place, learning one specific style or one specific system, and introducing them to a new system with a new way of coaching, with a coach that you don't know what their style is. And so now they're learning from us and they're learning from this coach. And we've had it where we've had kids that we're like, we need them to be better shooters.
Right.
We need them to be better, more consistent shooters. So we need them to shoot the ball when they get the ball in the hand. We run the offense based on their shooting. They go to another coach. The other coach says, no, you are a 4. You don't shoot. You just grab rebounds.
You're the big kid.
Yeah. You just grab rebounds. And then our shooter comes back and all they want to do is just grab rebounds. And they're not necessarily really good at it. They're a better shooter.
Right.
But it got coached out of them. Trying to put all these pieces and having multiple people, all these people teaching your kids the same things at different places and different styles, you are introducing inconsistency into their development. If you want to go with that other coach and go with the other program, go all in and see where it takes you.
Right.
But understand that you are going to be starting over a little bit because you have to adjust to the coaching style. You have to adjust the way they teach. And sometimes they may not be proficient in teaching all things.
Well, it's like life, right? Like, how many misunderstandings do happen in life with coaches, people, families, like too,
Right.
because they don't communicate. They just don't ask. Or somebody's stubborn. In all cases where kids don't develop or want to go or want to leave, something was missing during the communication piece of it. Like,
Right.
something was missing. Like, I have kids that, I transferred schools. Why? That coach tried. I didn't like him. Did you talk to the coach? Nah, he ain't worth me talking to.
Right.
Well, that's an adult. 1. 2, how do you know that?
Right.
How do you know they're mad at you? How do they know they're going to play you or start you? Well, I just figured the way he looked at me. Wow. I hear that more times than anything. And then I look at the parents, I'm like, you fill the paperwork out for that? None of y'all talk to anybody? He's
looking at you like that because he's disappointed.
Yeah. You didn't say anything. And I have always been a believer. I get kids all the time. Coach, I transfer schools. I'm not your parent. I'm like, and I say, give me 3 reasons why. And it always comes down to something they didn't ask the coach, but it also comes down to how they were prepared.
Yeah.
And you talk about that a lot. If you weren't prepared, that's why you probably didn't make it. You came to tryouts and you were the last one down the court. You blew 7 layups. You had a bad attitude, and you missed the shoot around the week before to explain how the tryouts were going to go. So you got to take responsibility and say, and then the parents get mad about, well, what school would you go to next? Did you ask? That's why we always have a policy when parents ask, sorry, man, plan time. Hey, you're invited to our next academy session and watch your kid. Well, no. We want you there.
Yeah,
I want you to see
the effort.
I want to see the effort. I want you to see the pride. I want to see the silliness and why they can't pick anything up. So it's an open door. Not too many programs to do that. We will, though.
Well, and it does fall back into our model. Our model is we train kids no matter what team they come from.
Yeah.
But if you play for us, we want you to play for us. And so the reality is we won't hold you back from playing for many other teams. And if you go to academy consistently and show out, you're always going to have a spot with us, as long as you keep your account active and stuff. We're looking at it from the idea that some parents are like, okay, they need as much playing time as possible. So that's why we play for 12 different teams. And when you play for 12 different teams, you play for 24 different coaches.
Right.
You play for 24 different coaches, and you have, 27 different coaching styles, depending on the context. And so now your kid is getting all kinds of different coaching from all these different people, and it can be very overwhelming, confusing, and you adjust styles, you adjust routines and everything. And so it creates an absolute mess. It creates a shit show.
Yeah,
and
if it works for you, it works. Fine. I'm not here to do all that. Like, we're not here to do. If it works for you, it works. All I know is I can look at the NBA, I go to college, I like those guys. And if you ask some of those guys, a lot of those guys stayed on the same high school team.
Yeah.
They stayed on the same AAU team. And they made it to the league, overseas, are playing D1 or NAIA basketball, any of those levels, because they didn't run a bunch and get a bunch of different coaching. They might have trained with people and they picked up a little thing or two, but it wasn't
conflicting styles.
No. Oh, I'm mad. I'm mad today.
Right.
What do you need, son? I need that paper again. Let's go.
And so the concept is we are show up every academy session, you'll get better. Right. That's the offer that we're making. And we can make that offer because we have Division I level players. We got varsity players on a high school level. We have multiple players at multiple levels. We're about to have pros.
They went through a part of our program. That'd be speed and agility. That'd be academy.
Right.
That'd be one-on-one training. They went through, but they are going to they went to higher levels.
They consistently showed up. And so what we're saying is the team hopping, and I know that's kind of what it is, where you just jump from team to team to team to team, wherever there's a roster spot or a stacked team, you just jump in there and whatever. You're not really developing a player to be the player that you want them to be. You're limiting their ceiling. Now, if the place they are isn't meeting what they need, then that's an honest conversation that you have.
Dude, that's right. The hardest thing is, like, just talk about it.
Right.
Talk about, man, I got kids that have left, that have come back because the kid left and the conversation never happened.
Right.
And then when they finally come back and talk to the parents, it was something simple, and I tell the parents, like, don't emotionally make decisions. Don't emotionally not talk to a coach. And we talked about our last thing. You gotta talk to a coach. We talked about that. You make the team. We talked about that was one thing. Like, talk to the coach. And this is even before you try out. If you think something's like, I'm not getting communication. I don't know what tryouts are. I don't know when the mandatory workouts are. Just call.
Right.
Email the coach and say, I am a parent. I know tryouts are in November. Are there mandatory shoot around? Oh, yeah, let me give you an email.
Right.
Pretty simple. But if you come in and you're only hurting the kid and yourself, you sit around angry all the time, mad at the wall and mad at the wind outside. You're not helping anybody.
Well, and with the inconsistency piece, because it goes into the bigger, the underlying conversation. Are you adequately preparing your kid for that next level?
Right.
And that's really what it is. I liken it to you trying to cook something, right? You're trying to get a specific taste or flavor or preparation or cook on the food, right? But if you start changing steps and start changing ingredients and changing processes, you're going to get different outcomes. Sometimes the outcome are better, sometimes they're not. But you can't put in different inputs all the time and expect the same outcomes. It doesn't work like that. And so if you get consistent and learn, this is how we develop and this is how we reach our best self, and then you constantly do that and then you iterate on it and you adjust it for different contexts and situations, you'll always know how to get to the best version of yourself.
Yep.
And so that's why we focus on the consistency piece with our kids. And so it doesn't have to be with us. If we don't work out for you, we want you to pull us in and say it's not working out, and then give us a chance to adjust it, or say, you know what, we might part ways here, or we might even recommend somewhere else where you can get what you're looking for. But if you're with us, we expect a level of consistency in showing up. And so we've always been really open and loose with, you play for who you want to play for. If you're just in a regular academy, you can play for multiple teams, and all you got to do is train with us.
Right.
But we're getting to the point where we're kind of cheating some of our academies plus teams kids with that, because what's happening is it appears that may or may not show up to the academy sessions, but then want minutes.
Right.
And there's a minutes expectation. And so we're going to probably be changing some things around about how we do it, and really enforcing, you show up to academy if you want to play the game this weekend.
Right.
And it doesn't matter any of that stuff. You can't just show up at the game and expect that you're going to get clocked, and we haven't seen you for 3 weeks. So those are the pieces that we're going to be changing up. But if you're in a regular academy, play wherever you want to.
Yep.
We're just here to train you. But if you want to get down with our program, or if our program comes through and smacks your program and you decide that you want to be on it, because that's actually happened.
Right.
And I know, well, we don't recruit anybody, but that's our recruiting tool.
Yeah.
Our recruiting tool is the fact that we put out kids that are really trained in our program. We focus on defense, we focus on hustle, we focus on footwork, we focus on positioning, we focus on all those boring basics. And so when the kids step out there, that's what's shown on the court, and they're pretty good at what they do.
Right.
And that's how we have parents that say, how can I get down with y'all? How y'all can get down with us is commit, consistently show up to our academy program, consistently make the investment into your kids' training, and we'll see what happens. And so that's the piece I'm talking about. It's the consistency piece. And so we have to lock it down a little bit more for our academies plus teams kids. But academy, you can play for anybody you want to. Academies plus teams, we're going to be figuring out a way to accommodate kids that already came in with other obligations.
Right.
But at the same time, making it fair for the kids that show up every single week. That
Communication.
And so communicate, consistency, communication. These are things that allow your kid to achieve success. What doesn't really get it is, this team said that they like my kid, and so I'm going to just go play for them this weekend. And then while we're at the tournament, another coach asked if my kid can play for them. And so next weekend, I'm going to play for this team. And then the third team came up. They called, they hit me up on Facebook, and they saw my kid at this tournament, and they wanted to get in contact with me. There's a level of, and we talked about it.
It's a game, man.
It's a game of poaching talent. It's a poaching talent game. So a lot of times these coaches will flatter you.
Right.
And they'll gas your kid up and make all this high level of promises. And then once they got your kid,
I challenge parents, go ask a varsity player that's playing this year and ask them how many of their friends are still playing.
Yeah.
That are juniors. If they're junior or senior, ask them.
Right.
And I asked that to my varsity player, I asked that to his friends that started with them, and they'll tell you 2,
right.
3, none.
It filters out.
None.
It's a funnel.
And they all thought they were going to run. In a perfect world, and I think some cities might do this, but I know what here is you have this great, talented AU team.
Right.
And they are just tearing people up in the summer. The reality is 2 of those kids live in our area of Millard.
Right.
2 live in Northo. 2 live in Bellevue. 1 lives in Springville, Nebraska. 1 lives in Glenwood. You'll never be in the same high school.
Right.
You'll never be in the same high school. So you got to develop the individual player to be able to lead anywhere they're going. Perfect worlds, take all the A boys, put them out, make a school for them. They'll be unstoppable. But it doesn't work like that. So now you got 2, 3 high-level kids that played AU basketball, but the other ones need a little help. Mm-hmm. So now how do I become a leader? Yeah. How do I get the kid that took the summer off because he didn't know better? They didn't know better. They thought I can just be tall. I can out-tall everybody. Out-tall everybody. And now it's this doesn't work. How do I talk to him? How do I become a leader? How do I get the ball to him? How do I make the
Well, for the kids that laid around all summer, we have tryout prep boot camp.
Yeah.
That's the service. And you can come in and get 6 weeks, almost 4 days a week of basketball, conditioning, speed and agility, footwork, basketball skills
Yep.
over an intense 6-week cycle to lead up to tryouts so that you can walk in ready to attack.
Yep.
And so I've been posting them in the comments. All you got to do is scroll up and sign up. For the kids that want to develop on a year-round thing, that's going to be Basketball Academy. If you want to stay with your team, Basketball Academy is the program for you. Basketball Academy, you can play anywhere, but you train with us.
Right.
Basketball Academy Plus Teams is a separate program that still does the Basketball Academy stuff, but adds in a team element. And what that team element is, you train with us, you play with us.
Right.
And that's the focus. So we have multiple ways for you to play. We also have another dribbling camp coming up for kids that want to learn how to dribble and develop their dribble. And so dribble drive camp's coming up
23rd.
on August 23rd. That's coming up as well. So we have multiple ways for you to get down with us. But you have to show up. And that's the only way, that's the only promise that I can make you as the owner of Coach Mo Athletics, as a co-owner. The only promise I can make you is if you show up consistently and put in the right level of effort, you will get better.
Yep.
Our model is building better players. That's what we hang our sign on, is building better players. But the only way we build better players is with better effort and better consistency.
Right.
And so you show up, we will do everything we can to make that player the best possible player that they can be. But if you don't show up and you don't put in the effort and you don't put in the work, we can't promise anything. So in summation, we talked about prepping for trials and what you need to do. Specifically, Coach Mo talked about what small guards need to do. If you're the parent of a small guard, please, if you can, scrub back in this video, stop the video, go back and look for that part. We'll be clipping it out so that it can be information for smaller guards, because that is a huge part of our client base. It's small guards, and we all instill the same toughness and the same idea that they have to play defense for 94 feet. They got to be superior passers.
Yep.
They have to take open shots. They have to attack the rim. They have to do all these things to dominate and make up for the fact that they may not have the height that the coaches are looking for off the rip. So we talked about what we need to do with smaller guards. We talked about having the right mindset coming in to tryout prep, and that's what the tryout prep services are for. We also talked about the methodology behind Academy. I want you on our mailing list. If you're on our mailing list, you can get specials. Right now, one of the specials is we're running the season pass, which is everything we offer for $1,500 for 12 months. Everything we are doing and everything we will do. And we plan on doing a lot. We have a couple of things tucked that we're planning that you're going to want to get in on. Then we talked about consistency, showing up and doing the things and not trying to force your kid to learn basketball from 12 different coaches.
Right.
And staying consistent with what you're doing. And if what you're doing is working, you've been consistently attending, you're not seeing the results, go and talk to the coach so that you can make the adjustments or figure out if there's another pathway you need to take. So these are the things that we're trying to prep you to be better players. We're trying to prep your kids to be better players. We don't judge our program on winning games.
No.
We judge our program on building better players. And when we have better players, guess what we do?
Win games.
We win games. So that's how this whole system works. So, Coach Mo, because we're about an hour and 15 minutes in.
Yep.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, just I want you guys to go really pay attention to what we said here. Get on that mailing list. Sign up. We had a couple people sign up. We sign up for the service. Get into that camp. If anything, man, it's keeping the kids engaged, keeping them busy, getting them locked in, keeping them focused on. If they love basketball, we got something for them to get them better. And then shout out to the trainers, shout out to the coaches that were here for these kids during AAU. AAU was a lot. Props to the kids that are traveling, the parents. That was a lot this summer that that leveled up, and now it's that serious time to get ready for school now.
And so, speaking of that, AAU summer's wrapping up. We have our Wichita tournament, which some of our teams are down
They're
at.
playing right now.
They're playing right now. Summer services are concluded.
Yeah.
We're into fall, and fall means we had our internal tryouts to kind of figure out what rosters we're going to go with. Now we're having an open call for kids that want to hoop.
Yep.
We have on our website. If you look at the top, you're going to find one for boys and one for girls.
Yep. We got a lot of kids that are locked in. Got some kids. I don't know if they haven't locked themselves in yet, but it's open. It's open.
I'll post the girls link. But this is fall and winter basketball, and so fall and winter basketball. If you want to play with us, we're going to need to make sure that you receive your first payment for services by
August
12th, so that we can lock in and make sure that we are heading in with full rosters. Because the thing we don't want to, we're heading into fall with kids that are conditioned and trained, and we're not starting the season from behind. We have done that in the past. That is not something that we're going to do this year. So
if you look at I got emails already for 5 leagues.
Right,
they're ready to register.
So
5 leagues, people are ready to get started.
So fall and winter basketball starting up. If you want to be in the basketball academies plus teams, it does require an ongoing commitment from you to show up to basketball academy sessions and practice sessions with your coach, because we build on consistency. And so I'm posting the girls link. I've already posted the link for the boys. We need you to sign up if you're interested. If you want to play with us, that's fine. It's train. The philosophy is you train with us, you play with us.
Yep. And
that's what underpins our basketball academy plus teams model.
Yep. Shout out to all my boys that are going back for college. That came through. Appreciate all you guys are going to do training this summer. Training, hanging out. Chuck, Trey, Tyler, JJ. Who else came through? All our college guys that Ethan came through. I got to see Will this summer. Just shout out to you guys. Good luck with your seasons, and we really appreciate you guys and wish you luck. We're going to be following you guys. And again, you're following the guys we're naming, and they're even our high school guys now. Chris, Trey, Ami, Jay Spears. These guys that play with some of our original CMA teams. Props to their senior year, man. I can't believe we started in kindergarten together. And I props to you guys. Finish strong. Listen to your coaches. Do what they say at school. Show up. Cut the distractions. Don't put the crazy stuff on the internet. We go back to our last 3 podcasts.
Show your work.
Record
your workouts. Make sure you're posting those on social media. And if you're in those kids that we're specifically just named, if you want to see them when they're little, all you gotta do is just scroll back through our videos page. You'll find pictures and videos of them hoisting up trophies and medals and playing in games.
Yep. Oh, Ricky, I forgot about Ricky. Sorry, Ricky. I forget about you, buddy.
We got Ricky too. So, this is what we're talking about here. It's a consistency piece. Those kids locked in and they're consistent players, and now they're about to go into their senior year and go out there and dominate their parts of the city. That's what we're talking about.
Colleges. This is my last name. Colleges. Offer these boys.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hard workers. You get kids. Put them into your system. Offer these boys. No need to, especially if you're local. Don't hold back offering any of our boys, any of the boys that are working hard. And I don't care who they play for. These boys are working hard, showing up and doing what they're supposed to do. Offer these kids. Come actually watch them. Do this stuff here. It's a college. Getting to play in college is a dream for some people, and you're going to see a level of difference if you see these kids that are doing really good stuff. Get them there, but offer local kids. I'll fight for local kids that are doing stuff. Offer local kids.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep turning them out. Colleges, if you're a partner to kind of get a sense of what we do, come in, check us out.
Yep.
We're here every Monday night and getting after it.
Yep.
I'm not gonna I'll get first initials, but you come and get to see what K does.
Mm-hmm.
As a lockdown defender, active as a super active player. V, clapping in people's faces, getting in their heads. We talked about it on Monday night. We need to see you do more of that.
Right.
And so our kids, all of our kids, Monday night turned out.
Yep.
and handle business. And I'm very proud of you guys for implementing the feedback
Yep.
and getting on it. Yeah, we're active. We get active on Monday nights. Wednesday nights is our big, huge academy, and that's where you get all the coaches in the same room at the same time, and you get a chance to kind of see what we got going on. So, Coach, anything else we need to discuss?
No, shout out to our coaches, Coach Derek, Coach Tom, Coach Joel, Coach Jeremy, Coach Danielle, Coach Will, Coach Mike, Coach Chris, anybody,
Coach Lowe.
Coach Lowe, Coach Lowe, man, Coach Lowe goes for my heart. Coach Lowe, big shout out because he has the smallest, our youngest group up into one of our oldest groups, and can maintain it being cool all the way through it, man. Coach Lowe's he's done beyond, what a lot of coaches done. Coach Jeremy's really grown that program. Coach Bill has been like our longest tenured coach, is really getting people in there. Coach Derek's new to us. And they all bring something to the table. And so if you're gonna you're gonna get around people like this, immediately you're gonna see people that care about kids and want to be there and want the best out of the kids.
Right. And they won't sit there and smile at their kid and watch them fail.
No.
So I want y'all to come in with that understanding. These coaches will not sit there and smile at your kid and watch them fail.
These coaches are actually probably harder on their own kids, like I am, than other kids. So it's not a game.
Right.
It's not a game.
We're in the business of building better players, and so that's what you got to do to build better players. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the live stream. Forgive us for the audio issue. Still learning this thing. I don't think that this was on us. I think this is more of a software issue.
Yeah.
So, and we have the services listed. They're in the comments. Scroll up, sign up. Hit us up with questions. I want to start reviewing game tapes and giving tips. And so start sending us your athletes' game tapes. The link is going to be coachmoathletics@gmail.com. Send us links and show us where your athletes are playing, and we would love to review that game footage and give you guys pointers. That's all we got. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be chopping this into the CMA podcast, but fall and winter basketball starting up. Don't wait.
Yep.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.